Being able to successfully communicate during such an event is very important. It can be crucial in your efforts to decide if you should stay put or you should venture out. Communication can also give you information about what actually happened, and that can determine what supplies you are going to need for the long term. For example, if it is a chemical concern, then you need to worry more about water that will be drinkable than anything else. If the issue has to do with government rationing, then you will need to do your best to conserve food, water, and to hide your weapons so that they aren't confiscated. A radio is going to be a very valuable asset during an end-of-the-world fallout. It can allow you to hear what is going on and to know if it is safe to come out of your home or not. If there are rescue efforts in place or a central meeting location, you can get that information too and then make a plan to be seen or to get to that location for help. It is recommended that you have a radio that operates on batteries. You should also have a second radio, though that is a hand crank model. These 27 allow you to generate energy by cranking the handle. Don't rely on just one radio, because if you run out of battery power or there is some type of failure with the radio, you don't want to feel like you have been cut off from the rest of the world. The unknown can make your mind uneasy and stress you out. While you may not like what you hear on the radio, it gives you something concrete to wrap your thoughts around. You don't want to make assumptions, and if you don't have a radio, you can be in a position where you have to make blind decisions. Walkie-talkies, being able to communicate with your family or with allies, is going to be important too. The use of walkie-talkies is the best way to do this, but they don't have the best radius for a signal. You have to be within a small proximity for them to work. However, they can be a valuable tool for scouting, for surveying, and even for keeping watch. It is also recommended that you have two types of walkie-talkies available. This includes those that operate on batteries and then those that are a hand crank style. Once again, you don't want to rely on only one and then find out it isn't going to work. You should get walkie-talkies that have several frequencies too, so that you can change the channel if you have too much interference. Morse code 28. The only way that Morse code is going to work is if you are familiar with it, and so is the party you send messages to. If you were in the military, though, or you learned this form of early communication, it can come in very helpful for you. It isn't too late to learn Morse code either. In fact, it can be fun to test your skills with it. Signs and banners. Putting signs outside of your home or a building to show where you are can help search and rescue find you. It can prevent you from being overlooked in hard-to-identify areas. Hanging a banner outside can be a very good idea. Signs can also be used for communication by holding them up. The other party may need to have binoculars, though, on the other end to be able to read them. Hopefully, you have a pair in your supply kit. Paint can be used to create messages too if you don't have a way to write on boards or other materials that will be visible enough. Flares. The use of flares can send a message that you want to be found and that you need help. It can be very useful in the dark or when you aren't able to successfully use any of the other methods of communication in order to reach out to others.